This is the Dodgers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, hello and welcome to the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA since 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Well, that was ugly, not fun, not close, disappointing, sad, embarrassing. A lot of different words you can use to describe that. But I'll tell you this, it's better than what the Yankees did because they're out. Suck on that, Evan. Anyway, the thing that about this game that I really liked the least, other than a loss, obviously, is that the Dodgers just didn't battle. I mean, they, again, just showed up lifeless, listless, nothing to prove in this game. Just like, yeah, we didn't think we were going to sweep them anyway. That's really what it felt like. Just the fact that they were just kind of going through the motions. It was awful.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Dodgers lose 8-2, not close. Yeah, they led 1-0, but that was over real fast. And then they just rolled over and just took it, And again, I think the biggest WTF in this game is Dave Roberts making stupid pitching decisions. Seriously. I didn't even have to change the rundown in the background. Dave Roberts making foolish bullpen decisions again. I think he feels like this stuff is in the bank, so he can be like, oh, I can be conservative now. I don't have to waste my pitchers. Wrong. You got to win one more game in this series to move on to the NLCS. That is more important than saving anybody. God, it's driving me nuts. And then he answers the questions about it. So you got to give him a little bit of credit for not avoiding the questions or whatever, but he answers the questions and says, yeah, I was saving Sasaki in game 2. Why? I mean, they won the game, so it worked out, right? Today, he was clearly trying to save a lot of people. And the fact is he left Kershaw in there too long. I mean, the fact that Kershaw got in there in a jam and got out of it, 2 on, no outs in the 7th. Heads up play by Will Smith. Kind of a freebie as Kyle Schwarber got thrown out of first base on wasn't a pass ball or wild pitch. It's the ball in the dirt. But Kershaw gets out of it. 2 hard hit balls to Teo and got out of it. Dude, you're playing with house money at that point. Come on. It's Kershaw. He's old. He had a good year. I know you wanted to get him another look in the postseason. Well, you did that, right? You did that. And it worked out fine. And then you bring it back. What? 4 earned, 5 total on 6 hits. I mean, after, I don't even know which one you like. Look, once he came out for the 8th, when the Dodgers have given up, 11 now, maybe 12 in the 8th through this postseason. That was working against you too, right? That's a real thing. I'm sorry. You can't just ignore that. The Dodgers have been god-awful, abysmal in the 8th inning. So you're like, oh, Kershaw's going to save the day in the 8th inning and make our 8th innings seem much better now. No. And then, I don't know that if you would have yanked him at any point in time after the Real Muto home run, maybe it might have been different. I still think they lose 4-1 at that point. The Turner little fisted single off the, got beat in on the hands, still fisted it over Tommy Edman at second into center field for a 2 RBI single. And then Schwarber hits basically a routine fly ball, but hit it so hard that it just floated out of the stadium. 368. Wow. That's not very far at all, but it probably went 368 up and 368 out. It was a launched rocket missile that floated out of the stadium. So that was just ridiculous. There's plenty of other, like I think even having Tanner Scott come in at that point would have been better. There's so many other options that you could have run out there in that 8th inning that would have been better. Like, I hate Treinen, but even Treinen would have been a better idea. God, and then the logic, he'll get asked about it and he'll say, well, I thought maybe we could stretch him and, save some arms. If they lose tomorrow, they're done. I'm going to say it right now. They're not going to go back to Philly and win a game 5. It is not going to happen. So tomorrow, as Jay Hare likes to say, is a must win. Yeah. Fire, dip, inept, stubborn Roberts. Look, this is not only on Dave Roberts. It's Andrew Friedman and his staff as well. It's all of them. They all deserve the blame. Roberts is just the face of these dumb decisions. Damn well he and Friedman are having conversations about this stuff. He's not just out there doing this on his own. So it is like, well, we could try to save some arms and let's be a little safe and conservative here. And then tomorrow will be set up perfectly. Look, there isn't going to be a tomorrow if you keep losing, right? So you got to just win today. And we've heard them talk about that as well. That's a mentality the Dodgers have. We got to win today. Can't worry about tomorrow. Win today, right? Worry about tomorrow. That's just sports across the board in general, right? Win today. You can't be trying to set up your rotation and save your bullpen arms. It's so frustrating. So freaking frustrating. And then, you look at what the offense did. There's just nothing. Shohei Ohtani is a shell of himself. 1 hit in the postseason. 1, or at least 1 in this series anyway. He's just been flailing. He is up there like, I don't care how many runs we're down. I'm going to hit a home run that equals that many runs. I'm going to go up here right now and hit a 6-run home run rather than try to get a base hit and get on base. Get into a count, work a count, put a ball in play. No. I'm going to swing at bad pitches that are down and away. Oh yeah. It looked good for a second, but he pays no never mind to the count. He's ahead in the count. He can throw you a ball down and away that's going to look good and probably end up in the dirt. You should know that. You should think, well, this is a pitcher's count, so I need to protect a little bit. He doesn't do that. No, I was going to swing out of my ass. And in the regular season, it's fine. Yeah, it works because he hits a lot of home runs because he's a strong guy, big, strong dude. And he is a good, his physical approach to hitting the ball is good. His mental approach is for S. It's terrible. He just goes up there like, yep, I'm strong enough. Doesn't matter where it's pitched. I'm going to launch one every single time. We don't need you to launch one every single time. There are times when it would be good for you to get on base or drive in a run. Something, even a walk would be better than what he's doing. Last 7 days, 5 hits, 21 at bats, 7 strikeouts. Just awful. I mean, he did have 2 home runs. I think that was against Cincinnati. So this series, he's just been terrible. I think. Am I forgetting something? Monday. Why do they not have that? That's pitching. They're showing his pitching stats over his hitting stats because they're better. So he's 1 for 5 in game 1, 0 for 4, and then 0 for 5. So yeah, he's got 1 hit against the Phillies. It did produce an RBI, but he struck out 6 times in the first 2 games, and today once. So he struck out 7 times in this series with 1 hit. It's not good enough from that guy. He needs to be better. Mookie had a good day. Mookie was doing his job today.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Not that it meant much. Didn't score a run. Didn't have an RBI, but Mookie was 2 for 4. At least he was getting on base. Max Muncy had a couple of hits, but his defense was bad. The defense across the board was bad. We're going to talk about that next. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, where you can find the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast with Travis Rogers Monday through Friday. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 of those dollars in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use anywhere on the app. NFL, postseason baseball, basketball, hockey are here. Anywhere you want. It's available for you right there. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com. FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app and get started today. Today's episode is also brought to you by Rugiet. Guys, you've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis. Maybe you've even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rugiet Go Long. That's exactly where Rugiet Go Long comes in. It isn't just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for your confidence. The process is simple. Connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online. And if you're prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly right to your door. If prescribed, your treatment will ship discreetly to you. I don't know why they put that in there twice, but they want you to know. If you are prescribed, you'll get it in a discreet package, so nobody knows you're ordering ED pills. But there will be one person that will notice, because the effects can last up to 36 hours. Look out! I don't know how big this thing gets. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Head to rugiet.com and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for 15% off your first order. That's Rugiet, rugiet.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB to make sure you get that 15% off. Tell them Locked On Dodgers postcast sent you. The Dodgers fall in an ugly one, 8-2. Big eighth inning for the Phils. Real Muto homered 407 feet. Turner with a nubber off the handle of the bat for 2 more. And then Schwarber hit his second homer of the night. His first one traveled 455 feet off the roof of the pavilion. So, and then that would look, I think they could have survived that. That tied the game. And we knew that Schwarber was going to run into one at some point. I mean, that's fairly obvious that he's going to do that. They're not going to get all of these guys to fall asleep at the top of the lineup. Turner, Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Bohm. Some of those guys had to wake up at some point. So tonight was the night. The Dodgers did them a little favor with an error from Pages, a throwing error. I have criticized his defense all season, but the problem is that he makes good plays to get mixed in with the bad plays, and I've always defended his arm. Well, tonight his arm cost him. That's how they scored the second run. Bohm singled, Harper scored on a throwing error that bounced into the dugout, and then a sac fly from Marsh scored Bohm, and that made it 3-1. So those came quick, fast, and in a hurry there in the fourth, and the Dodgers were just on their heels from that point forward.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yeah, that was it right there, that error from Pages. And then it got worse when Max Muncy made an error on it was fairly routine. Max Muncy makes that play all the time. So 2 errors tonight, not what you're looking for this time of year from the Dodgers or anybody. Got to be better. Like, you can't leave guys like Clayton Kershaw in the game too long, and you can't give away runs on errors. The Phils are going to make you pay for that. They are a damn good team, and they have really good pitching, and they are set up tomorrow. I mean, Dodgers are not in a bad spot, but with Sánchez on the mound tomorrow. And the game's starting at 3:08, so there's going to be shadows all over the place. Batters are going to have one hell of a tough time. GLASNOW going for the Dodgers. So at least we got a horse out there as well. But Sánchez has just been better. I mean, he's been better than almost anybody on the Dodgers, except maybe Blake Snell. Yamamoto today was off. Excuse me. We haven't really gotten. Damn. I'm coughing and choking like the Dodgers. Yeah, Yamamoto had been very locked in coming into today, so confidence was high. But at some point, that these guys are gonna have an off day, have a bad outing. Yamamoto gave up 6 hits today. He had given up 4 hits over 6 innings, and had given up that many over his last 3 or 4 outings. So just didn't have it and didn't have a way to lock it back in and get back on track. So yeah, no, I was right. 6 hits over 4 innings. I said it right the first time. Clicked on the wrong button. Gave up 3 runs, only 1 walk, struck out only 2. And that's another thing that he's been doing a lot of lately, is striking people out like crazy. He's an auto for 9-10 strikeouts to only come up with 2 today. 67 pitches, only survived 4. That's a tough beat. You can't win when those things are going sideways. So they had no offense, bad defense, bad managing, and your starting pitcher got roughed up pretty early on. So this one was just not in the cards. So let's hope tomorrow they figure out a way to get to Suarez. Not Suarez. Ranger Suarez was the winning pitcher today. Fantastic from him. 5 innings, 1 run on 5 hits, but got big outs when he needed to. I thought that when the Phillies got 2 on in the 5th and Bonda came in to strand them, I was like, that's what they needed. That is exactly what they needed. Now the Dodgers can kind of fire it up, flip the switch, get rolling offensively, but they didn't. They just didn't have any desire. I mean, I'm sure they had the desire. They didn't have any gumption, any want to, any fight. There was no fight in the dog tonight, and that's not okay this time of year. If they come out tomorrow and have that same sort of lackadaisical, ho-hum, blah, 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 sleepwalking through this game, the Phillies are going to punch them square in the mouth. And we'll head back to Philadelphia for a game 5, and that will not go well for the Dodgers, right? If you blow a 2-0 series lead in this, if you blow a 2-0 series lead, getting it back to 2-2, heading back to Philly, you have lost every ounce of momentum, and your opportunity to win the game and the series would be, in my opinion, slim to none. Not impossible. It could be done. They've won twice there. But the fact is that one of them was in spite of Dave Roberts' poor managing and poor decisions with regard to who he pitches and for how long. So today it cost him. It really did. I'm sorry. Bonda was good. Dreyer was good. Kershaw was good for a frame. And if they bring somebody else in there, even Trinan, Tanner Scott, somebody else for that 8th inning, the Dodgers at least have a shot to win the game in the bottom of the 8th or the bottom of the 9th. But when you're down 8-1, game over. Game over, Johnny. So let's hope that tomorrow is a different deal, that they come to play, different mentality, different attitude, different sense of urgency. Got to win tomorrow. It's a must win. Must win. I'm sorry. They lose that game tomorrow, series over. Nice season. You had it set up, right? As Dave Roberts said, we got it all set up. Well, you did until you blew it, right? You can't blow it tomorrow. Got to figure out a way. Let's hope Tyler Glasnow has that game face. And he has that energy and that want to, that will, that grit, that determination that the Phillies had tonight. Ranger Suarez looked good and won this game for them. Dodgers had no answers for him. They got 5 hits, but just never really threatened. Aaron Nola went 2, Kirkering 1, Walker and Banks. Game was over at that point. So 8-2 the final. Series now 2-1 Dodgers. Dodgers got to put this away tomorrow, like the Toronto Blue Jays did to the Yankees today. Sent them packing. So that series is over. But the Chicago series, they're on the board against Milwaukee with a 4-3 win today. And Detroit and Seattle are even at 2 games apiece after the Tigers beat Seattle 9-3 today. So that's a game 5 heading back to Seattle. Dodgers cannot afford to head back to Philadelphia. That's going to do it for me here on the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Again, 3:08 tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. Christopher Sanchez will take on Tyler Glasnow. Will be here to break it down when it is over. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Appreciate the comments. We will talk tomorrow. Take care. Have a good night.